You probably know I do past life regression, past life therapy. I've been doing it for 40 years, 30 years consistently, and 20 years as a UFO investigator, which I find it all blends together. It's all connected. There is no separateness between it. Now, when you began on this whole adventure, you started with God, who during all the sessions, they all call it the source. You started with the source, with God. We were all a part of that. And everyone I've had describe it the same way, as a huge energy, an unbelievable energy. Some of them call it the great central sun. It's a huge, bright light. And they say when they are there, it is so beautiful and comforting. There's a love beyond comparison you could never experience on earth. They feel that when they are with the source. They don't want to leave. A lot of people say they come to me, say they don't want to be here. They're lonely. They feel they don't belong here. They want to go home. They don't know where home is. That's what it is, because they feel so separated from their home where they came from. And they told me, don't downplay the importance of the nature spirits, because when we get to the shifting of the world and the catastrophes that are going to happen, those spirits will have a very important part to play in the rebuilding of the earth. So it's going to be very important when we get to that point. But all of you experienced all these things. So you don't have to think you're here at the very beginning and just starting out. But the most important thing of all, especially right now, is to get rid of all this old karma. We're going to go into something that's very important. We're going into a new world, a new earth. You can't drag this karma with you. The new earth is going to be beautiful and perfect and positive. There's no room for negative karma. You've got to get rid of it. What is the quickest but not the easiest way to get rid of karma? Do you know? Some people say, do it back to them. That doesn't do anything but keep perpetuating. Forgive. You have to forgive. You got to let it go. Very, very difficult. Very, very hard. May sound easy, but this is going to have to be done. We've got to get rid of the karma. We cannot go into the new world carrying all this junk around with us. We're not going to be allowed to do it. Okay. Another thing we're going to have to get rid of is fear. See, we are getting ready. We're in the middle of it now. It's happening now. We are moving into a new dimension. The entire world is shifting into a new dimension, a new frequency. The ETs said time is an illusion. They said mankind is probably the only species in the universe has found a way to measure something that does not exist. Leave it. They said we'll never travel in space as long as we are trapped in time. And we are trapped in time. This last year, it's not like that anymore. That's what I'm saying. An evolution is occurring in my work, like an evolution of hypnosis. I felt I've taken my hypnosis already to a level that it has never been taken to before, and now it is even going even further. Now when I'm doing the sessions, we go to the point in the session they're supposed to be in a past life. They're not. They're back with the source. They're back in this beautiful light that is the source. And they don't want to leave because it's so beautiful and it's comfortable and it's just such love, they won't want to leave there. Then I say, well, what made you decide to leave? And then they said, the earth was calling. The earth is in trouble. The earth is calling us to come and help. I said, does anybody tell you you have to do these things? Because on the spirit side, you have the advisors that help you decide. Is anybody telling you you have to do these things? They said, no, I feel the call and I must go. Then when they do come, take them forward and everything, they said, they keep saying, I'm here to help. There's something I'm supposed to do, and I'm here to help the people. Now that doesn't always, every time I've asked the subconscious, what's their purpose? What are they here to do? It never says they're here to have a good time and to drink and be merry and run around. It never says any of that. Make a lot of money. It always says they're here to help each other. Isn't that interesting? It always says the same thing. Many, many of these people are being told they have to be healers. They have to be here to heal. They have to be able to help each other because we're going to go through some very bad times. Okay, now the world is changing its frequency and its vibration. It's already doing it. As I said a while ago about dimensions, we're getting ready to shift into a totally new dimension. We have to. The earth has got to the point where they can't do anything else to help it. We're just destroying so much here that it's going to have to be a separation to move into the new frequency. And they said the entire universe is watching. This is the greatest show on earth because it has never happened in the history of the universes before that an entire planet will make the shift at one time. Now, you know in the Bible, it always talks about the new heaven and the new earth. I believe John of Pathos, when he had that vision, he was seeing a real vision. He didn't realize it was going to be thousands of years in the future. This is what he meant by the new heaven and the new earth, and the old is done away with, and the new is going to be taking over. Our DNA is being changed, the vibration rate is being changed, and we are shifting with the planet. We have to. It can't happen suddenly because the body wouldn't be able to handle it. It has to happen gradually, little at a time. And when it makes these little jumps, people are experiencing physical problems. But our DNA is being changed, and the ETs have been helping a lot with this. We're going to be at the point where we're not going to be sick anymore. And we will be at the point where we will never die. We are actually moving into what is called the 1,000 years of peace in the Bible. The whole earth is going to be totally different. And there's going to be many left behind. Just like the Bible says, many are left behind. Because they can't change their frequency and vibration quick enough to move with it. They have to be working on it now, or you're not going to move. You'll be stuck with the old earth. The ones that are deep into the negativity, they said they will be allowed to live out their lives on the old earth. But when they die, they will not come back to the new earth because the new earth will have no negativity. They will be sent to another planet that is still experiencing negativity so they can work it out. But those of you who have an idea what's happening are already making the first step to move into the new earth. Because they've said, you really don't want to be here when the worst happens. They said, if you think Katrina was bad, imagine that happening all over the world in cities everywhere. Chaos, utter chaos, and utter confusion. And people aren't going to understand. They're going to be so confused and frightened. They said, we have to be the voices of reason. We have to be the ones that know what is happening so we can be calm in the midst of the storm. That's what a lot of these people are coming in now. You might think some of this sounds bad, but it is the evolution of the earth. This is what's happening. You can't stop it. It is going. Okay. I had a bunch of notes here, but one of the things they said, one of the main things that will hold people back from ascending and going into the new earth is fear. We're so steeped in fear. A lot of it is coming from the government. You know that. They said it'd be better off if you don't watch TV, don't watch the news, don't get caught up in the illusion. Because the more you hear about all the violence and all the bad things that are happening, amplifies it. Better off if you just didn't focus on that at all. But that, I said, do you mean by fear, then do you mean the wars and things? They said, yes, the government with the wars and also with the diseases that they are trying to create. You keep the population in fear, then you can control it. And that's what a lot of this has to do with the drugs. And you want to look at your TV. They try to convince you have to take a pill for everything. And they said these diseases they want you to have shots for. They do not exist, but it's all a way to promote fear. You get the population afraid enough, you can make them do anything. And you know this has been happening since 9/11. All of these new laws coming into effect that would never have happened before, all having to do with fear. And it's like, oh, great Father, protect me. And you'll let them do anything. But they said, you're going to have to start thinking for yourself. We have access now to instantaneous information on the computers, much more than we ever had in the past. You can have information that you would know is real. You read these things, you ask questions, make up your own mind. Don't believe what everybody is telling you. Think for yourself. Don't let fear rule your life, because if you're afraid, if fear is holding you back, you're not going to progress as we go into the new earth. And it's happening. Our vibrations are increasing. There's no way to hold it back. But some will be left behind because they can't change quick enough. Don't get caught up in the illusion of what's happening. I always tell people when I do a lecture, don't believe what I say. Don't believe what anybody else says. Think for yourself. Ask lots and lots of questions. Then make up your own mind what it is you believe. Your truth may not be my truth, but it is yours. What you believe is the most important thing. Don't let other people sway you. And this is one thing they don't want. They don't want people to start thinking for themselves. But we have to get rid of the karma, forgive, and get rid of fear. Two main things so we can move on. Okay. Okay.
Okay, my question is, earlier you said that the animals and plants and things are at a lower vibration. Now, when this new earth splits off and it's at a higher vibration, does that mean we're not going to have any plants or animals?
Oh, they'll be there. They said there'll be plants that you have never seen before. Beautiful, wonderful plants that will have different kinds of food also than we have now.
The animals will be there?
The animals will be there also.
Okay, otherwise
And
I'm not
also,
going.
I forgot to say that when you enter the new world, you will have your physical body with you for a while. And then eventually you will turn into light and have a light body. But yeah, the animals will be there.
Okay.
And there'll be wonderful plants. That's something else too. They said in order to make your body lighter, you have to change your diet. Have you noticed that your diets are changing? We have to get away from heavy foods, anything that's going to hold us down, and eat lighter foods. They said the best thing we can eat is live foods, which is fresh fruits and vegetables. Stay away from anything that has the additives in it, like, the heavy meats. And eventually they said we're going to be mostly liquid diet. But to watch what you take into your body, they said the body is a miracle. it can handle anything in small doses. You give it too much of anything, and that's what hurts it. Like with the additives and the hormones and the things that are in the meat right now. After a while, that begins to cause illness. But you watch what you eat natural as much as possible, and smaller portions. They said it'd be good to be like grazing, to have small portions during the day. But eventually it'll be a liquids anyway. Okay.